Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's favorite segment / podcast, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. And we're going to bake them today. We got quite a bit to get to, so we're going to get right into things. I can't wait for it. Who's ready? Flutes in the chat. Dave Meltzer and Bry. Well, here, let's read some attention deficit Dave Meltzer. So, Dave gets mad and he calls everybody podcast grifters and talks about how Eric Bischoff and these guys need to get new material. And Alfred Konuwa, this is nasty, pro wrestling bits. He's been so kind to highlight and look up a bunch of instances where Meltzer's just said the same thing over and over and over again. So he keeps bringing up Frank DeFord. Frank DeFord, in one of his books, said that in real life, Dangerfield was the second most miserable person he had ever met. And it's funny because we cover it here. Dave just projects constantly. Dave calls people old podcast grifters. Meanwhile, that's what he is. And then he will do things like, you need to get new material. Meanwhile, we just went over, he's been having the same 3-year argument sweeping with the same talking points for AEW and has just been calling people podcast bad faith grifters who don't study and learn for the last 3 years and stuff like this. So anyways, he just keeps bringing up Frank DeFord or Eric Bischoff. Who do you think has a clue about reporting more? Arguably the most respected sports writer of the last 60 years, or a guy who purports to get business whose main claim to fame is bankruptcy and ruining businesses. Dave Meltzer says Eric Bischoff's main claim to fame is bankruptcy and ruining businesses. Meanwhile, Dave Meltzer is doing 50% off fire sales the last how many, for 1 year straight, it's been 50% off. Observer, dude. And it's pretty funny. That's not and Dave's main claim to fame in internet lore will be becoming a lol cow and a meme and making up lies. And so I think that's way worse than Bischoff. I think his main claim to fame was 83 weeks. What's funny too is he beat WWE more than 83. It's just the 83 was consecutive. So when people are 83 weeks, it's well, it was more than that as well. And he put WWE on their back foot. That's something no one else was ever able to do. And no one else will be able to do again. Right? And that's what Tony needs to be a little bit more, is on his back foot and challenged and really pushed to put on a good show. But as we've seen, everybody just sweeps for him. So it's never going to happen. Frank DeFord told Brian Pillman when Frank DeFord. So he brings up Frank DeFord. I'm not going to read all these, but Frank DeFord, he brings up a billion times. And then someone made an AI video. It might have been Alfred. Yeah, so Frank DeFord finally addresses Dave Meltzer. So shout out AI for...
Hi, I'm Frank DeFord. I wanted to come on Beyonce's internet and confirm that I do not know Dave Meltzer. I met him one time at a girls' volleyball tournament. He was removed by security for 5-star stalking. That's it. Frank out.
Dude, AI is... For little like that, it's funny. But it kind of isn't funny how... I don't know, man. This whole world, all this technology we use, dude, how they achieve batteries and shit. Stop, man. So whatever. That aside, the energy burning, wasting aside, I mean, little AI clips like that have popped me. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. I thought I'd be more grossed out by it, but I definitely, if people are dropping AI movies and shit, I'm not into it. For little memes or using AI to make little videos of Tony crying and shit, that's hilarious. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. It's just, even if someone made one of Bischoff crying right now, it'd be funny, right? You gotta admit. So again, grifters, the new term Meltzer uses. Here's Vince Russo and Jeff Lane. Shout out Jeff Lane and Vince Russo and the brand. And also shout out Eric Bischoff and 83 Weeks.
It's really funny, kind of like the grifters. They're so anti-AEW. I had to have a budget, and he doesn't have.
Ooh, who punched him in the face?
Yeah, he's got a black eye, dude. The Black Eye Club. It's a humiliation ritual. Oh my god.
This is the new word. I mean, they've been
Grifter,
trying to get this
grifter.
going. Yeah, if you criticize AEW on a podcast, you're a grifter. Like
Yeah.
that, they will just label people that to try to discredit them. It doesn't matter what they're saying.
Yeah, people are over that shit. You can't just call people Nazis and or Yahtzees, sorry, YouTube and shit anymore. Like, it just doesn't. People don't care. People are over that. Like, it just is. It means nothing because, like, not to take it to that extreme, but it's the same thing. Grifter. There's all these terms people will just throw at people to undermine and just be like, "Oh no, you're not. I bet you voted for Trump and shit." It's like, yeah, you can't. It's just so like passe, I guess is the word. Like, people are just over that shit. You can't just call, when you start calling people grifters, then people start to go, are they really grifting? Then you look into it, right? So
if I call them a grifter, you can't take anything they say seriously.
Right. So, but only to your audience. Everything's a niche. Everything's a fucking niche, and there is plenty of crossover in the wrestling space. But Dave's just telling his audience that, like, Bischoff's a grifter, or like a Russo's a grifter, or Jim Cornette's a grifter, but they already think that anyways. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to like shut down what Jeff's saying. He's spitting, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't even matter at this point. He's just speaking at a wall, going like, you're not convincing anybody, you know?
Then everybody also thinks, oh, they're a grifter.
Yeah.
So anybody that says anything criticizing AEW is now labeled as a grifter. These people are fucking losers, all of them, man.
It's really.
Oh man, Shadow Jeff. Do we have any more Bishop? Yeah. So here's Dave. You got to let things go, and you got to come up with new material. And so here's Dave going, got to let you go. This is black and white. Listen to the clip. You have to literally not understand English to come to this conclusion. Got to let you go now. This is like his shutdown. I got to let you go. Got to let you go now. Got to let you go. This is what he says to people that he's shutting down. Got to let you go. Beyond silly. I'm going to let you go now. It's like, where did he hear this vernacular? He's like in a cafe and in like Southern Cali, and he's just like hearing some fucking cringe Lord Valley girls talk like this. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe.
And I believe Sasha Banks is actually from the Bay Area. So I think that kind of applies, that drop there. Even though she claims Boston, I'm pretty sure she is from the Bay Area. I might be off on that, but someone fact check me. So, yeah, we had Dave going back and forth with like Niccolo. Well, not back and forth with LoPiccolo. He won't address LoPiccolo. That's the goddamn problem. But Dave Meltzer says, to some people, actual and arguable facts that go against your narrative is considered a loss of credibility. The key is Brian, the key to learning is is to keep your mind open. The key to stop learning is to close it from all outside facts. And then this guy responds, just fucking felts Dave Meltzer here. Dave Feltzer, Tom Ace. So you stopped learning a long time ago? Got it. Roasted. Oh man, I love that shit. Oh, dude. Yeah, Dave, you quit learning a long time ago. LoPiccolo hits him with a fortune cookie, but there's a couple more of them barbing back and forth here. And here's Sling Blade Dave. Jim Cornette needs to get new material. Here's how many tweets Dave has put out saying, Meltzer math, second grade math, pretty basic math, failed math in elementary school, second grade math, basic math, in a math challenged country. You have to realize that in a math challenged country, yo, dude, he called Americans stupid. He said that you guys are math challenged. That shit is hilarious. Nah, Sasha Banks was born in Fairfield, California, and then claims Boston, I guess. So, amazing that people who have never read a thing and listen to fraudcasters have an aversion and fear of simple math. You notice Dave isn't like telling people they fear shit lately as well. We've like claimed it. It's like fake news. We like claimed that fucking term, you know? We took it back. But the math was free. You missed that the math was free. So him just talking about math constantly. Meanwhile, he just ignores math all the time. Math is a really cool thing. And so Dave Meltzer, he always says dumb shit like this. So this guy goes, props to you, Dave, for apparently having more understanding of Netflix data traffic than every media entity on earth. Must be tough to be so smart. Yo, shout out Michael Nance. Just cooked him. And then Dave Meltzer goes, boxing people told me before this to look out for it. Boxing people. Everybody's just one of those people, Brian. You're either one of those rapper people or one of these boxing people. And don't forget about the Mexican people like my co-host Garrett, right? Like he always just boxing people told me before this to look out for it. They knew. So nope, only me and everyone on this app who are math majors. One person after another on this app for months did the math and came to the same conclusion. And so, yeah, the conversation came up of Dave Meltzer and closing the gap, or with Dave Meltzer and AEW closing the gap. We'll get more into that. But Nick LoPiccolo posts, these boxing people, are they in the room with us right now? That's what I'm saying. Y'all see this recent South Park with, they're making fun of like the woman with the hat movie or whatever. I forget what it's called. The woman in the hat. And she's like in the front yard with the hat.
It's here right now. In the corner.
But it's Melania Trump, dude. I don't know. It's funny. I think it's funny.
I'm pretty sure that's your wife, sir.
My wife? What does it want?
Oh, man. It's pretty funny. I just watched that like yesterday. I didn't realize, man. I was like 4 episodes behind on South Park. Patrick Mahomes. So moving along here, well, more Nick LoPiccolo, actually. He takes Filthy Tom Lawler and he says, would you do me a favor and ask Brian, is he really going to take this shit? And so this lady, Melissa Roscoe, just, again, Feltz Meltzer, dude. Why couldn't you watch it with your quote-unquote girlfriend? And then Meltzer goes, I did. I'm trying to have him avoid the pitfalls, although she did love most of the series and shared my views on Urion. The fight scenes were a major turnoff. And then Lissa was like, wasn't saying you didn't have a girlfriend. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood that. But yeah, fucking Nick LoPiccolo just called Brian his girlfriend. What are you going to do about that, Brian? And so here's Dave arguing with more people. So Powerful King JJ posts, NXT Deadline has surpassed Dynamite's attendance at this very same venue. That. Meltzer goes, I almost hate doing this, but that, and it's so funny. This is an incredible self-own from Dave Meltzer here, okay? It's fucking incredible.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
He goes, I almost hate doing this, but that's simply because the set was larger for the AEW show, which sold out in advance. NXT is a smaller production setup and isn't sold out, but will be by Saturday. Making a point either way about actual real sellouts is disingenuous. So you're disingenuous. Then why did you just make a fucking point about it then if making a point?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither, Lex. Like, Dave, just stop. I almost hate doing this. Yeah, because you look like a dumb fuck. Because you just flip-flop around like a fish on a fucking hot deck, dude. This guy says, I just can't fathom who would be watching TNA on AMC that isn't watching it now. Yeah, I know you can't fathom it because you're a fucking redact, Noah, okay? Like, are WWE fans really looking to add a 4th night of the week for watching wrestling? Bro, are AEW fans looking for that? Your answer would be, yeah, if there was 4 nights of, and also it's not just WWE fans, okay? And just look into this shit. You can just look into it. Switchblade, he posts that little fucking thing. I'm too dumb and don't got the time to look into that. He fucking did. And it just shows you over the last decade, everywhere they've gone, they do better than the average show. They average better than the average, than the destination. Like, what is Pop? Is that a channel? Is that I don't fucking know. Is that a station? Is that whatever? Everywhere they've gone, they do better than the average. That's all that matters. AMC, they have the potential to do really well. I can't imagine more people becoming fans of this new or this revitalized wrestling company. This is why AEW's dead in the water, man. You guys just gatekeep. Meanwhile, your shit's sinking. I can't imagine why a bunch of people would want to watch wrestling. Meanwhile, a bunch of people started watching Dynamite when it came out. And everyone was happy about that. Like, it's so fucking cringe. But Dave Meltzer, Access is in around 33 to 35 million homes. AMC is in about 57 million. So there is an answer. It's similar to the idea that why would new people watch AEW when it went from 64 million to 99 million homes? Or why less people would watch Raw and SmackDown when they went to new destinations? And then this guy goes, they are on Sportsnet 360 here in Canada and haven't done well at all from what I've gathered. Just being on a larger network doesn't always guarantee a larger audience. Yeah. No shit. No shit. So that's why you look at the trends. It's not that people are talking out of their ass and going, oh yeah, they're just going to do better, because it's the same thing. It's so funny because what this Noah guy's saying is exactly what everyone said about AEW. Doesn't mean it's going to, just because they're on whatever the fuck, or they add this show, doesn't mean more people are going to watch it. Just because they're on streaming doesn't mean magically 1 million people who were just watching streaming are going to start watching AEW. All you people spurg out. Oh, you just are an AEW hater. I believe the fucking BJ Bethel. You guys all spurg out about it. It's fucking crazy. But then with TNA, you're just saying the exact same shit. And it's like, oh yeah, that's valid because it's TNA. Don't you guys get it? Don't you guys get it? Okay. TNA's number 3 in this convo. I've broken it down. You guys are now being threatened by an actual challenger. TNA's actually going to challenge AEW. And now you guys are just saying logical shit now. Like, oh, they're not going to. And I don't know about them not doing well at all. Like, it's just wrestling in general in Canada. They're the same people who, all the wrestling fans are just going to watch wrestling. Like, I don't think there's like, maybe there's like tons of sicko tribalists in Canada. I'm sure there's some. But I guarantee they all watch the majority of WWE for the most part. I'm willing to fucking guarantee that. Yeah, him just saying what people said about AEW, but then all these sickos got triggered over it. Just being on a larger network doesn't always guarantee a larger audience. Exactly. Get it now? And then Dave Meltzer goes, yeah, I remember when, I hate this. Ask Grok to explain this post. No. Yeah, I remember when Sportsnet didn't make a deal with AEW and then got TNA, and people were saying, oh, TNA on the bigger station would outrate AEW. Who was saying that? Who the fuck was saying that? And AEW was beating them like 4-5 to 1. Exactly. That's why I feel people should temper their expectations as to what TNA will do on AMC. I think after 6 months, if they are averaging over 150K and 0.04, that would be considered a success. I mean, now who the fuck are you to fucking, like, oh yeah, fucking mathematician over here. Everyone should shut up, but like me and you, Dave, let's just like glaze each other and like tell each other how we're right, and like I'll make predictions, but everyone else should just chill out and only my prediction's good. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. These people are such like elitist fucking pricks, man. It's so cringy. It's like, bro, just don't worry about it. You're not going to watch anyway. Why are you coping? Everyone's just worried because it's going to start spanking AEW. And actually, no, continue to worry about it. Keep talking about TNA. Keep fucking doing it, because all it's going to do is make them pop the fuck off. So Andrade El Idolo, well, actually here, speaking of the TNA deal, this is what Dave Meltzer had to say. Okay. And he goes, it's good for TNA. They're going to be up. It's a much stronger station. So let's take a listen to this clip, and then Eric Bischoff has a response.
Big news for TNA.
It's going to be on AMC. It starts January the 15th. They'll probably do well, like just from hyping everything the first couple of weeks. And then, you know, as with all shows, about a month in, you can kind of figure out where it's going to land. It's good for TNA. I mean, they're going to be, they're going to be up. I mean, I think that Access was in maybe.
It's just terrible analysis.
35.
I study and learn the business. Who listens to this and is entertained?
Million homes. I mean, I hadn't seen the numbers of late. It was over 40 million. It's actually about 45 million a couple of years ago, but obviously these, you know, all these numbers have dwindled since then. So I'm going to.
Who cares about a couple years ago, Dave? Unless you're talking about what TNA did on fucking Access a couple years ago, no one cares. Shut up.
I think it's in 35 million, around that range. So it's not quite double the homes, but it's also a much more, I mean, it's a much stronger station.
And no one's talking about how it's AMC launching sports on their shit. Now, obviously, it's not going to like blow up fucking the way Breaking Bad did or Walking Dead, but it's AMC introducing pro wrestling and live streaming and sports and shit to their, you know what I mean? So like that's a huge deal as well. And I mean, there's a lot more behind it than just like, well, TNA's on like fucking Access just to keep it alive, and no one knows what the fuck Access is. It's AMC, bro. It's a big deal.
So it's a big plus. So we'll see how they do. I mean, you know, obviously it's going to help. Plus, they're getting paid for it, which with Access, I mean, they weren't getting paid, although, you know, but they were kept on the air. They were, you know, it's interesting because
they weren't
Anthem
getting
bought,
paid, but they were, kept on the air. Yeah, because Anthem, they own Access and TNA, bro. Any money TNA brought in, they own it. So it's like, and if they lose money, then they own it. So like, what are you talking about? They weren't getting paid to be on it. Yeah, because it was just them putting it on Access because they own them.
Access
like,
largely so TNA could get back on television, you know, because they were on, you know, like absolutely terribly weak TV before that in the United States. So I'm wondering, like, if they're moving TNA off Access,
it's because they can get money for it, or are they just going to sell Access? Maybe, but like, Dave, now you're doing this, like, he heard someone else say this and he's just like parroting it or parroting it or something. You know what I mean? Like he's just, this isn't even an original thought or anything. I swear. He's just sitting here going, oh, maybe they'll get rid of Access and shit. It's like, well, yeah, but TNA's popular working with WWE. Part of working with WWE was like, well, look at what these big TV deals. I mean, they gave this fucking failing shit AEW 180 million. We don't even want 50. We don't even need 100 million. Or like they want it, obviously, but we don't even need 50 to 100 million. You know what I mean? Look at WWE. They're doing all these big ass deals. The potential's here with TNA. We've been around whatever the fuck. So they look at that and they go, that's awesome. We can get money for TNA now after we kept it on TV on Access for a while. And it's like, if people were trying to shill out money for Invicta, they'd fucking sell that too. I don't think it indicates they're going to sell off Access, but maybe like
they would probably want to unload that. I would think. I think that the future of Access is probably going to be in question.
And like, who gives a fuck about that even? Like, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not here cheering for like Access TV or whatever. So I mean, all right. What does that have to do with? It's almost like he's trying to point out like a negative about, I mean, Access was only around for this just to keep TNA alive. And I mean, they'll probably just get rid of it now. And it's like, well, what about this? Like, talk about how TNA is getting 30 million and how that's a game changer for them and shit. I don't know. Eric Bischoff responds and goes, it's not a station, you out of touch cosplay parasite. Try and get out of the 80s. It's a cable outlet channel platform, but it's definitely not a station. Having another monthly 50% off sale this month. Oh, hit him with the 50% off sale. Oh, the grift continues, man. Dave Meltzer, you know, he doesn't bring up the key demo anymore. People are pointing that out, but he goes, Dynamite last Wednesday did 512.10, very strong in 25 to 54 by current standards. Where's the 18 to 49, Dave? Where's the fucking 18 to 49?
I don't know!
Oh, man. Key demos, what matters? Overall viewership. Then he switches to key demo. Now he's like, oh, well, the key demo's 25 to 51. Wow. Since the switch, they did the best in that category, except Blood and Guts. And it's okay to evolve with the times, right? Like, it's okay. But Dave spent like the last 2 or 3 years spurging out and freaking out about, oh, fucking streaming, like just not knowing shit. Oh, they're making money, 3.6 million a week, and the key demo is what matters, not the fucking overall viewership. And there's 500,000 on Max Buy and a 30% pay-per-view. Just talking all this shit, and then he condescends anyone who calls him on it. and tells him that times have changed. But now that Dave deems he can talk about the 25 to 54, he's not going to have 7 million tweets retracting all the condescension and bullshit that he did to everybody along the way. So, man, Dave never ceases to amaze. You know, Dave gets into it. He gets called out over by Andrade again. Dave Meltzer talks about Andrade. Let's take a listen to this clip. He's with Try and Brian here.
Interview in Mexico, I would be very, very skeptical of some of it. But
Look at this fucking hat. So what happened? Like the Just for Men order didn't come in. It wasn't the right color. He accidentally got blue-black. He accidentally got the blue-black color. Oh, my
what's he up to with Andrade?
His fucking, he didn't have his glue that day, so he couldn't glue on the few little hairs.
So he did an interview in Mexico. I would be very, very skeptical of some of it. But he basically said that his non-compete is worldwide and that he expects it to be settled in less than 3 months. His claim is that he didn't know that there was a non-compete when he went to AEW, or wasn't. And then when he went on, then WWE contacted him and said, "Hey, you're on a non-compete."
So Tony put him on TV without a contract?
He may have signed a contract.
He signed a contract, and it's the worst, Ran. Fucking, this is why the YouTube TV thing matters. Not to bring it back to that, but it's like, Tony, you got to pick up the phone. Tony, you got to make sure guys aren't signed to other companies before. Why didn't your lawyers look over his shit? It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. It's so Bush League. He's focused on. He's a great matchmaker. Okay, well, stop doing that. Anyone can do that. Okay, anyone can make good matches. They do it on 2K all the time. There's fantasy 2K leagues that are fucking crushing it in views, probably crushing Dave's views and mine combined, you know, with people just playing fantasy 2K leagues already on Twitch and shit, bro. Like, we know, okay? Like, anyone can matchmake. We're not fucking Jesus Christ. And especially in this landscape of pro wrestling, when there's so many fucking good pro wrestlers around the world, it's like, yeah, anyone can matchmake, bro. Now tell a story and fucking handle your business. Why did this guy show up on your TV? I think it's one of the funniest stories of the year.
No, not without the knowledge that he couldn't sign a contract. He obviously told Tony that there was no non-compete. We had, obviously people in WWE believed there was no non-compete. The way he is telling the story is,
why did obviously people in WWE believe it? He's trying to spread incompetence across the board. Nope. WWE contacted him and said there's a non-compete after he showed up on TV. Obviously, they thought there was they didn't know that he was going to show up on TV that night on Dynamite. So they contacted him after. Dave, stop trying to spread Tony's incompetence and his accountability across the board and to everyone else.
No non-compete. And then they told him there was after he had appeared on AEW because they were mad he appeared on AEW. The other thing he said that doesn't make sense was he claimed that he left WWE on great terms, which...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just called being professional, even if they piss some people off there. It's just being professional and not... come on.
I've never been fired on great terms. I don't know about you.
They pretty much buried you pretty bad on the way out. I don't know how good.
Yeah, because you've been working for Dave as his fucking lapdog for the last 30 years, Bri. No, how long has Dave and Bri been teamed up?
How good those terms were. And I know people who are going well, he'll never be back there. And it's like, I actually thought that.
It's like you never got fired on good terms. So you never had a seasonal job or you got laid off or some shit. Because wintertime you can't work outdoors or whatever. And you fucking, you know what I mean? You got to reapply or phone your old boss up when the snow melts and go, hey, bud, maybe that's a Canadian thing, but it's like, hey, yeah, I can work, That's, you never done that, Brian? I don't know.
Back at some point. Because...
I'm not saying that's what happened with Andrade, but goddamn, man, come on. Dave's been doing this for 50 fucking years, so it's not like he can talk about work experience.
He were to do well in AEW, they're going to want him back, because that's just how wrestling is.
Who's going to want him back? WWE? I don't know about that. Maybe one day, everybody goes back to get their induction and all that shit, So Andrade El Idolo responded and he says, I didn't sign any contract. Sir, you say it with such certainty that I signed a contract when that's just another one of your lies. Do some more research, sir. I was in negotiations to sign because Mr. Tony Khan and the AEW team were having good discussions, and we came to an excellent agreement. I'm especially grateful to TK and AEW in general. Then I received a non-compete clause after my AEW debut in my first match in Tijuana, the Crash. But I want to clarify that I didn't know if that was the issue with WWE. Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. Lo mejor para usted. So he doesn't like destroy him, but he just corrects him. And then Dave can't help it. His ego. Dave's fucking ego, man. He responds, except I didn't say that at all. Bro, you just got felted by Andrade. He just 10-7'd you. Okay. He just defeated you by countout right there. And except I didn't say that at all. You're a fucking narcissistic asshole, aren't you, Dave? Like, he just responded to you. He's being very kind. Also is speaking like his English is his second language and whatnot. He speaks with a very thick accent, and you can tell by the way he lays this out, his sentences out and stuff. This isn't his fucking, you know what I mean? So he might have used a fucking Google Translate or something for that. I don't even know. And shout out Andrade, by the way. But it's like, Dave, just why you stirring shit up, you know? So again, and then Andrade responds and goes, you said we know. Next time you say they know. It's like, exactly, Dave. You don't know. It's just like with the station thing. You don't even know what you're saying. You're just babble mouth. It's all you do. You glaze and you chug, bro. You glaze and you fucking chug. So speaking of glazing and chugging, let's take a look at what Dave and Brian had to say about some WWE shit. And then we'll take a listen to what they said about some AEW shit. And Dave Meltzer largely gets everything wrong, including copyright strikes. But he largely gets things wrong when it comes to his WrestleMania predictions, largely. And and then he talks about closing the gap and whatnot. Yeah, here's Dave actually arguing. Yeah, so he responded to that Jeff Lane clip, and he goes, word has been around in that vernacular since 2021, so you're wrong by 4 years. I use that term fraudcasters for that. It's like, Dave, no, you don't come and tell a guy, I don't know how old Jeff Lane is, but you're fucking beyond a boomer. What's like older than a boomer, dude? You're like old as fuck, dude. You're Tales of the Crypt Keeper. Don't go and tell people internet stuff because you fucking hang out on Twitter all day and live in fucking SoCal and are a prissy little valley girl bitch, okay? You don't get to tell people, I'm hip, I'm with it, I'm cool, taka, 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 ha, right? That's the vibes Dave gives off. So Dave responds, speaking of WWE, this is sort of in the middle here, stuck in the middle with you. We talked about Andrade before, but here's him like coping over the response.
About Andrade, and I said,
I should have played this before, but I accidentally skipped over the clip.
You asked me, and it's like, you know, they put him on there without a deal, and I go, for all we know, he might have had one. I don't know. Andrade, I don't know if he doesn't know English well, so I'm kind of going to, give him a pass. He goes, you liar, I never signed. So what he said is that he never signed, but they were negotiating.
So Andrade, like, this is how fucking stupid you are, dude. Your editor puts the tweet right here.
Stupid idiot. Right.
And this is why Dave's a narcissist. He's like a sociopath. He can't be told, like, how dare anyone even question any word I ever say ever, or ask me a question or correct anything I say ever. And you can tell that's his mentality and that's his attitude towards people. Why? Because look, your editor put what Andrade said right here. Lots of exclamations, very kind. Mr. Tony Khan, sir. He just said, do some more research, sir. I was in negotiations to sign. He calls you sir, thumbs up. I don't know what le mejor para usted. What is that? Lo mejor para usted in English. What does that mean? The best for you. So he literally wishes the best for you, Dave Meltzer, and all of these things. And he's like very kind towards Dave. And then Dave, listen to what he fucking just lies to everybody. And again, it's projection. Liar! Caught you, Dave, in a projection. You're saying that you're literally lying, saying that he came out and went, oh, you're a liar.
Liar! Oh. Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
Listen to this.
So we talked about Andrade, and I said, you asked me, and it's like, you know, they put him on there without a deal. And I go, for all we know, he might have had one. I don't know. Andrade, I don't know if he doesn't know English well. So I'm kind of going to, give him a pass.
Oh, my God. I don't know if it's because he doesn't know English well. Jeepers, man.
English well.
And then listen to this. So I'm kind of going like, whatever. But he goes, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. He didn't say that.
And, give him a pass. Because you liar, I never signed.
You liar, I never said. Where'd he call you a liar? Oh, you are a liar. I'm calling you one because you just exposed yourself as a liar right here.
Tell us what
You're a liar.
You goddamn
You're
liar.
lying about him calling you a liar. That is like liception, dude. This is what I mean. It's sicko vecna. Y'all watching Stranger Things season 4? You guys caught up? I'm gonna stream my shit on Phil Marks Out channel on tomorrow. Time cop. But Phil Marks Out channel, I'm going to do a live stream talking about Stranger Things season 4, and Dave is like all in his ultimate sicko vecna mode. At least he thinks he is, but it's the opposite effect.
So what he said was
he's just poning himself.
Is that he never signed, but they were negotiating. I mean, obviously they did the angle with the idea that he was going to sign. So he had not signed a deal. They were, they were negotiating the deal. So that's the basic story there. Aside from that, it was just weird because it's like he plays the clip from our show, and I clearly say that, I don't know. And he goes,
so no. That's the problem, man, is that, Dave, when you're like, I'm a journalist, I don't know, and let me just speculate on all this shit, and then let me not tell you sources, and then Tony Khan calls me on the phone, but then I just say people in WWE said this, and then it's always lies, and it's always wrong, which we're about to go over, your WrestleMania matches, and he's calling you a liar. He first off, he didn't even call you a liar. You just exposed yourself on that, and then you're like, you played the clip where I clearly said, I don't know. Yeah, but you can't play that game, dude. You can't play Lex when you claim and you're condescending and how dare anyone question
I don't know.
you? Like, anytime anyone says anything to oppose you, you have some fucking smug reply. Like, you can never be wrong. You're just infallible. You're in the infallible Phil Marks.
It's the clip from our show. And I clearly say that, I don't know. And he goes, you're a liar. You said I signed. You made it very clear that I signed, and I didn't sign yet. And it's like, well, what? And so it was kind of a weird morning when I saw that because I
bet it was weird. I bet every morning's weird. I bet life is weird for you, Dave, because you just like live in this delusion.
Oh, I never said he signed. I mean, and then, all these people, it's like the clip is right there. Like if you just watch the clip, you could see that he just misunderstood. I'm sure he was goaded into this by other people too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure he was goaded into it. Does he mean Nick LoPiccolo?
I didn't say that. So anyway, the deal, he hasn't signed. He was looking to sign. They were negotiating.
Just ask him. Call him on the phone. Ask Tony. Make an official thing. This is what's happening. Stop just speculating on it and just lying about shit, dude. And then lying, saying that he came at you aggressively. You're a liar. No, he didn't do that. That's what I'm doing. Andrade didn't do that, bro. He fucking wrote like a nice tweet to you. He was a little condescending with the but it's not even condescending, bro. Like with Dave, it's because in Dave's mentality, everyone's punching up at him. So is it ever really, can you ever really condescend Dave? I don't think so in his mind, even. You're flip-flopping, you're a fucking clown. And because of that, we will forever clown you. We will forever play flutes because that, ladies and gentlemen, was Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
This just in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.